Hello everyone, and thank you for being here at such a short notice. Today, we are honoring the late Helia Jade. Helia Jade was a beautiful young girl with so much potential. As a small child, Helia had big dreams of being a famous singer and a renowned songwriter. She was always singing and writing songs, but it was no use. Helia was a perfectionist. She convinced herself that the songs on her hard drive should remain in the graveyard because they were not up to her impossibly high standards. Really, the issue here was that she started using music as a way to prove her worth to other people, instead of using it to connect to herself. Slowly, her tender heart, it turned to stone because she kept abandoning herself time and time again, betraying the one thing that was precious to her, her muse. And one day, she found a collaborator who showed very good promise in helping her achieve the perfect album. He was creative and talented just like her, and also had impossibly high standards, so really they were a perfect match. In the process of making this perfect album, she was disappointed to find that, chasing perfection, the cool enough, the good enough, it all kind of tainted the art she made. I mean, the music was objectively good, don't get it twisted, but it didn't always resonate in her heart the way she knew it was meant to. So 7 years later, when the album was complete, she was shocked to find she felt frozen as ice. She had made it. She made the perfect album, so why didn't it feel like she thought it would? Deep down, Helia was haunted by the joy she once had for music. She almost resented it, almost wished that she never even felt it in the first place because the pain of being so separated from it hurt so deeply. Worse, she didn't even understand how she ended up in this place. Confused about what to do with these emotions, terrified of releasing the album, scared that the world would be harshly indifferent to it. Well, it was too much. And Helia suffocated on her fear and departed this realm. May she rest in peace. Helia never got to see if she was strong enough to let her heart sing. And that is the real tragedy. Hello everyone, my name is Olivia, the artist formerly known as Helia Jade. I hope you enjoyed my very dramatic reading of my own eulogy. For a little context, I spent the last 7 years working on an album called And They Pull Me Back In, which will actually be coming out in the next several months. I believe you can actually listen to the first single off of it called Shoulder right now. Check it out below. I actually released that song previously under the name Helia Jade, but I decided to take that music down and start the entire release process again under my own name. I realized that I created the whole persona of Helia Jade almost as a mask because I was afraid to own who I am and my own ideas. I did end up writing and recording an amazing album with one of my great friends and I'm very proud of, but the journey was tumultuous, to say the least. Lots of internal obstacles and external, but mostly internal. One of the biggest things that I realized through this journey was the fact that I genuinely thought, like my internal beliefs, genuinely thought that creating great songs would earn me love and acceptance. When you say that out loud, it's kind of silly to be honest, but genuinely that's how I felt. I equated being successful, getting great streams, going on tour, earning money with having actual value in this world. And ultimately, I realized that I was desperate to succeed because I thought that it would validate my self-worth and fill that void I was feeling in my chest. And I know now that that's an old mode of thinking, it needs an upgrade, but when I was talking about these feelings with one of my mentors, she said, "Olivia, I think this album is a funeral." And when she said that, it all became clear to me. I finally understood that the part of me that craved success and attention and acceptance around music in order to feel like I was a worthy person, that part had to die. I had to let go of the parts of me that were attached to these external outcomes, the parts that were drowning in fear of not living up to my own impossible expectations. The parts that were so scared to put myself out there in fear of being seen as cringe or embarrassing or too much or trying too hard. These parts of me, the ones that were hounded by what ifs, perfectionism, and the fear of rejection, they were haunting me because they were asking to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be set free. I had to make peace that I may never achieve these external things, but that didn't mean that my life wasn't worth living. When I listen back to this music, a lot of it doesn't really feel like me anymore. When I watch the music videos, I don't feel like I'm watching myself. It's strange to think that these are the first pieces of work that the world will see from me, but I've come to accept that they're relics of the past. Once I release them, they won't belong to me anymore. They'll belong to whomever stumbles upon them and finds joy or comfort or, I don't know, finds a sense of belonging. On this channel, my goal is to share the shadow work that I've done through therapy and self-reflection in a fun and creative way. All of this is in hopes that other creatives going through similar things don't feel as alone and isolated. Try as we might, we cannot hide from our shadows. They'll always find a way to sneak up on us. But we have a choice: to hear them out and regard them with kindness and understanding, or to push them away, further into the darkness. So I ask you, dear friends, if you listen closely, what parts of you are asking to die? And what would their eulogy be? Remember, it's in your best interest to be honest, for some doors to life can only be opened